So yeah, my friends, I wanted to show you my old "what are you crazy" way that I like to cook hot dogs. I just sit here and tilt this pan. It's a cast iron pan. I keep on tilting it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth for like a million minutes. Yay! What? You don't want to do that. Come on, 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 come on.
Excuse me, something's wrong. The lady ordered the large coffee.
Hello, my friends. It's Bill from Devil's Lake Food. Food for thought and food for your tummy. Oh man, I should have my crazy chef hat on because it is actually food for your tummy. Well, there is a new part of the fabulous podcast, I guess you would call it, or Devil's Lake Food Channel. We're calling it "What Hand-Me-Down Shirt Will Bill Z Be Wearing Today?" And here we go. Na 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 na. Whoa! Was that fascinating for you? And exciting? I hope so. Hey, I got on the winter hat. You know, I put it on because, like Gilligan, you don't want to see him like in a different outfit too much, you know? I mean, you don't want to see Gilligan in a three-piece suit, like smoking a big cigar and driving a Mercedes Benz. Like, it just wouldn't be cool. So Gilligan has to look like Gilligan. And that's kind of what I was thinking when I said, let me put on this hat. But now, I'm taking it off and throwing it. Hey, some people were asking me, what's with this up here? Is this plate? And it's from the movie 51st Dates. But it's covered because I threw another plate on top of that plate. This plate is like from Starkweather Class Reunion or something of, who knows, 1882. I don't know. But I bought it and I thought it was cool, but I didn't have a spot for it, so I just threw it there. So that's why people are really getting confused. They're like, what does that have to do with 51st Dates, Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore? It has nothing to do with it because you can't see what it is, but right up there, too lazy to get up and actually show you, but right up there is the plate that they brought out Dad's birthday cake on in that scene every day, apparently, because she doesn't know what day it is. But for a while, I would actually make the same cake and bring it out on that plate for all of our birthdays in our family. Well, that's freaking weird, Bill. Oh, well, what can I tell you? Anyway, people thought 51st Dates, that doesn't look like 51st Dates. Well, that is Michelle Rodriguez shorts that she wore in the movie Blue Crush. It was a surfer chick movie. Everything I have is kind of Hawaii themed. You know, kind of because of me working in Hawaii on the island of Molokai. But anyway, speaking of the island of Molokai, since it kind of has something to do with what I'm going to do soon, kind of, or at least it has a lot to do with Hawaii, kind of. Anyway, the news on the Coconut Telegraph is that all the people, not all the people, some of the people on the island of Molokai were picketing because the national park people who took over the old leopard colony, which is Hansen disease, they started giving out tours again to the leopard colony. And back in the day, it stopped in a while. Back in the day, it was a patient or a survivor, however you want to say. They would give the tour, and now it's like some park lady who probably doesn't know what she's talking about. Because one thing that I found in life is the people on Molokai are always right. Anyway, they were saying, no, don't do that. Forget it. We're not a tourist island. We don't rely on tourist people. We don't want to be like that. Beat it. So the national park people who are running the operation now, they did one tour, and then people were boycotting it or picketing it or whatever you want to call it. And then they decided no more for a while. So right on the island of Molokai, or the island of Molokai, however you want to say it. Yeah, I've heard it both ways. And from people who live there their whole lives. So what can I tell you? Anyway, what else do I have to say? I'll tell you. That whole, put on a hat like Gilligan thing I started out with, I went through that in my life. Working on the island of Molokai. When I came back, there was a guy who hired me, and I had to be like Billigan, the magical guy on the bamboo bike. And I had a certain chef outfit, and it had all Hawaiian kind of stuff on it. And yay! And it got so bad for me that I was doing these, what would you call it, public appearances, I guess. And I did one at a supermarket, and I would carry the bike with me and bring it there, and people would be like, oh, the bike. Yay, the bike. Oh, the bamboo bike. And then I went there one day, and I didn't feel like bringing the bike. I took this thing they call Tracks. And Tracks, I could have brought the bike, but it was just too much work. And I went up to this fancy supermarket. I forget where it was or what it was called, so don't give me no crap about that. But I went there, and I didn't have the bike. And people were showing up with cameras going like, oh, you're just here? The Chef Billigan bamboo bike isn't here? And I was like, what is going on? And it was just a stupid bike with an electric motor that was made out of bamboo. Actually, like a bike covered in bamboo, if we want to be technical about it. So, don't want to bore you too much in the beginning, because we will be getting to some food that I'm actually going to show you. That's really cool food. Here's the story. So I got this Hawaii themed sushi place with all this crazy sushi that nobody had, like Surfer's Revenge. Ooh, it's got shark in it. Take a bite out of a shark. And, themed stuff like that. It wasn't normal Japanese. Japanese sushi people hated me because I would just make fun of stuff. California Tan. Ooh, yeah, it's made with brown rice. Like weird stuff like that. Firecracker roll. Oh, I never cut it. It was like the whole stick. And it had this green onion out of it, like a fuse. And inside of it was like chicken wings with hot sauce and blue cheese. It was crazy. But I'm going to move on, okay? Anyway, today I want to shout out to my pal, I guess you would say that, fellow neighbor, all around good guy. If I need help, he's there. Because once I needed help and he was there. That's why I'm saying that. But anyway, good old Pancho from Pancho and Lefty's Bar and Grill in beautiful downtown Starkweather, North Dakota. Anyway, he was telling me, hey, do you go to the Spirit Lake Casino meat store? And I said, on the reservation? And he said, yeah, where the casino is. And I said, no, but I've been there 10 years ago. He said, oh, you got to go there now. So I went there. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, did I have a good time. First, I want to tell you about the Spirit Lake grocery store. They had lamb. Now, I've been trying to get lamb in Devil's Lake for 8 months. Nobody has lamb. I called Meat Company, if you're local, Lakeside. They're like, we got it sometimes, but we don't have it now. I went talked to the Walmart people. They were like, we used to have it, but we don't have it anymore. I went to my favorite meat place. Well, one of my favorite meat places. I actually have a couple of favorite meat places. But I went to the clothing store that has meat in the back, where the guy from Edmore is the processor, butcher, whatever you want to call him. His wife owns the place and they sell meat in the back of the clothing store in Devil's Lake. I know that South African people love lamb. I said, is there lamb in this place? She said, no. I found lamb there. They had it on the sign even. It was like $8.89 for loin chops. Now, they're not the French cut chops like I really like, but hey, they're really cool. And maybe, if you're lucky, I'll do a video on them. But maybe not. Man, there was a time in my life, it was in the state of Utah, that I would have lamb chop breakfast. Lamb chops, potatoes, coffee, eggs over easy, some toast. I think it was a pita bread. I'm not sure. It was awesome in this Greek place called The Other Place. I call it the Breakfast of Kings. I had it today. Made it myself. Oh, it was awesome. And let me just change the subject again. I just got off the phone with an old friend, and wow, it was hours, I think, and hours and hours. And you think I would be tired? No, I'm so super energized and full of life after talking to her. Wow. This, I don't know if it'll freak you out as much as it freaks me out, but I just remembered I actually took her to the other place, that's not even around anymore in Utah, and bought her a breakfast. The King's Breakfast. Wow. That's, man, signs in the world. They come at me and wow, it's amazing. You know, I talked to her a couple, maybe it was a week ago, I don't know, whatever. But I was like, should I call her? Nah. Should I call her? Nah. Should I call her? And then I was just like looking around, got on Messenger, and it said, hey, give me a call. You want to talk? I was like, wow, that was another magical sign. Crazy stuff that happens in the universe. Anyway, I'm not going to tell you about lamb chops because I'm not going to eat them right now. And I think I know why now I was starting to talk about Hawaii and stuff like that. Is check this out. The butcher said for $1 each, he had Spam hot dogs. And I was like, are you Lolo? My own Hannah would love them. And he said, yeah, they're like $1 a piece. And I said, are they really made out of Spam? And he said, yes, they are. They're not even expensive, like $1 a piece. And I said, I love this Spirit Lake Casino Meat Market on the reservation. So, hey, I'm telling you, if you're local, you better get over there. They had the most awesome stuff. They even had like bulk stuff, like you're having a big party or you have a restaurant. Or, I mean, it was just like, wow, like an amazing stuff. But today I want to talk about these. I can never tilt the plate too much because I'm scared that they'll fall off. Spam hot dogs. So I have one with sauerkraut. The sauerkraut that I was talking about in maybe the last video or the video before. It's a sauerkraut from Levers, which is another awesome store right in Devil's Lake. And a lot of other places in North Dakota too, but I go to the Devil's Lake one. No, that's a lie too. If I'm in another town, I'll go check because they got different stuff, you know, according to who runs the place. But the guy who runs our place, I don't want to mention no names, but I should. Awesome! That dude knows what he's doing. Period. But anyway, the sauerkraut is the one without the vinegar. And I forgot to mention that video that I did speak of levers and sauerkraut, that this is from Germany too. And it's in a glass jar. So it's awesome. And then on this other one, I have fried onions with some mustard. And we all know how I hate to eat onions in my house because I'm scared my dog's going to get it. I also have, oh, I'm going to show it to you, a chunk of raw onion. Because to tell you the truth, I really just like raw onion on my regular hot dogs. Even though these are hot dogs made out of Spam, it's a little bit different, but I like raw onion. So I'm going to take like a little bite, and then I'm going to go take a little bite. And then also on here, I have, I don't know if you can see them, red Thai chilies that I burn, or char, I guess is the official chef word. I love red Thai chilies. They are awesome. So it was wintertime. I couldn't get anywhere. 30 below zero, 10 foot of snow outside. So I went to Amazon and I got red Thai chilies, organic ones, sent to my house. And I ordered like 3 pounds. And it was a giant thing. And I stuck them in the oven on low, maybe like 140 for overnight. And I dried them all out. And then I guess you would call that dehydrating if you are a chef. But anyway, hey, wait, I'm a chef. Why do I just talk like normal? Anyway, I still put them in the freezer, dehydrated, and I pull them out every once in a while. It's awesome. So, I'm telling you, go check out these Spam hot dogs that are at the Spirit Lake Casino Meat Market. Just go check out that place. You know, it's been years since I've been in there, and I'm a fool. I knew they had their shit together. People talk about it all the time. The butcher there, and I don't know if there's one or two, but they're all like the real deal awesome. I'm going to try one. The one that has the fried onions on it. And you see the weird thing I like to do when I cook them. There's certain hot dogs that I like to boil just because it reminds me of this boardwalk Nathan's place that I would go to in Wawa, New Jersey, overlooking the ocean. And I would always get 3 for $1. And it was Nathan's. And, you know, so I do like boiling them. I call them vendor dogs. But I cooked them today the way that I showed you. So here I go taking a bite. Very spammy. Yeah, I can see Spam. It's got like a lot of salt to it. Take a bite of this raw onion. You want to come in for a really big kiss now? Mwah. Ah. You know, it's weird. A hot dog made out of Spam. But I like it. Hmm. Also, I want to say about the Spirit Lake Casino meat store. Probably has some other kind of name, but what I want to say about it is They had like elk there. They had buffalo there. They had, alligator there. They had some stuff, man. I'm telling you, that place is awesome. I thought I would have to go to Grand Forks or something, 120 miles away and 120 miles back just to get some lamb because I did want to kind of celebrate and have some lamb. Yeah, I did. It's the right price and everything like that. I'm going to take another bite of this one. And a little hot pepper. That was hot. That is the pepper, the Thai red pepper that they use. Put that down. That's what's happening there. Uh, yeah, the Thai food. The thing about that, when you go to a Thai food restaurant, they always use this pepper, but they'll go, "Do you want spice? What number? One is the lowest, and five is the highest." So if you go one, it's still hot. I think the answer is zero and put it on the side. That's maybe like what I would say. Can you put it on the side? Because I love Thai food. In fact, I'm growing lemongrass. That's how much I like Thai food. With a raw onion, with a bite of pepper. Mm. I love hot, spicy food, but to tell you the truth, I think it should all be on the side. Like if you like spicy stuff, you just eat spicy stuff. Then everything can be spicy. I was totally confused about this pizza parlor that I went to once, and they were like, "Do you want the? It's called a spicy pizza or something." And I said, "It's spicy." And they said, "Yes." And I said, I'm with some people, they don't like spicy. Why don't you just give me like the regular pizza, like people do? And every pizza parlor has the like hot red pepper flakes or whatever you want to call them with the seeds. Everybody always has a thing of that and a thing of like Parmesan cheese on the table. And then I'll make it spicy myself. I don't need you to make spicy sauce, you know? People think I'm weird when I go like, yeah, can I have plain chicken wings and some Frank's hot sauce, just a bottle? It freaks them out, you know? It's like, then we can all pick at it, and some people like a lot of sauce, some people don't. You know, why are we adding hot stuff to stuff? I don't know. Well, I ate it all. So, you know, it's one of those things I'll tell you, I don't really like it, but then you watch it disappear. Hmm. I got these hot dog rolls too at the Spirit Lake grocery store. They just seem like so fresh and awesome and less than $2 a package. All right, I'm going to try the one with the sauerkraut that was fermented without vinegar and imported from Germany in a glass jar. That was where the vegetables, the regular canned vegetables are in Lever's Devil's Lake, North Dakota store. Now it's Spam. So that one might be a little bit weird because I don't think I know of anybody who eats Spam with sauerkraut. But the executive chef in me was just thinking, wow, what about a Reuben made with Spam? Oh, I missed that one when I was in Hawaii cooking. I think the island would have loved that creation. But I'm thinking of it now. 20 years later. So, let me take some hot pepper. Some a spicy do. You know, the thing about Spam is in Hawaii, that state eats the most Spam anywhere. You know, they can ship it over on planes and boats. It's in a can. It's just famous. But people go, oh, I don't eat Spam. Walk into any supermarket. I don't care what your local supermarket is. There's like a giant section of Spam. They got like a million different kinds and all now. So, I mean, people are eating Spam. Maybe you don't want to admit to it. All right. That's okay. But I'm telling you, people are eating Spam. It is awesome. Now, the way that I made it here isn't the way you would probably dig it in Hawaii. In fact, raw onion. You guys want another kiss? Since I just had that big raw onion. There's some dude going, I'm shutting this damn thing off now. This dude keeps on kissing me. I was just thinking, a musubi for all my Hawaiian friends, but with the Spam hot dog. I know there's musubis with regular hot dogs. My Hawaiian friends like the red ones. But that's not made out of Spam. But there is Spam musubi. So it's like you would make it with a hot dog, but the hot dog is made out of Spam. I think that's an awesome idea. And something for another video. Because I think I got 6 of these in the pack when I bought them. You know, making Spam into a hot dog is not that crazy of an idea. It's already pork, Spam, and a lot of hot dogs. It already has a lot of sodium, like a lot of hot dogs. It's not that goofy of an idea. It reminds me of the time that I was making like a corned beef potato salad because of corned beef hash. I mean, it was still like corned beef and potatoes. So it wasn't that like crazy of an idea, even though everybody thought it was. So, you know, I think this is just giving me a idea to do a musubi and show all you white people what a musubi is. In case you don't know. I didn't know for the longest time. But I run into a gas station to get something. And they had them there. Of course, the gas station was in Hawaii, but they had them there. And, man, fall in love with them. For sure. So I want to thank you all once again for watching and subscribing and all that kind of stuff. And until we meet again, my friends, later on, okay? See ya. This is me shutting it off. Okay.
Excuse me, something's wrong. The lady ordered the large coffee.